The Gemara tells us in Yevamos, Umezu nikar begimel simonim. The Jewish people are known for three traits. Rachmanim, Baishanim, and Gomle Chasodim. We are people who are compassionate. We feel a sense of shame when we do something wrong. And we're givers. We're generous. And at first glance, it seems that two of those Middos, two of those characteristics are very similar. Rachmanim, Gomle Chasodim. In fact, we use the terms interchangeably. A person's generous, compassionate, kind, merciful. And yet you see in Chazal, they're really two different traits entirely. In his Sefer, Maspik Lovdei Hashem, Rabbi Von ben Arambam, the Rambam's son, Rabbi Avram, when he discusses Divas, that exalted trait of Divas of giving, he references Avram Avinu. Titin emes Yaakov Chesed Avram. Avram is the paramount of Chesed. What is Chesed? Chesed is giving. I want to give. I'm generous. I want to share. I want to make your life better in some way. What about Rachmanus? It's not about Avram Avinu. It's about Moshe Rabbeinu. Moshe Rabbeinu is the paramount of Rachmanus. As we see in this week's Parsha, Vayar b'siv loisam, that he came out and saw his brethren's pain. He saw their suffering. As the Medrash says, Nosen einav v'libo meitzer aleihem, that he gave over his eye and his heart to see their pain. He was looking for it. He wanted to see the suffering. It wasn't about giving. It was about seeing suffering and being unable to tolerate that suffering. So whatever could be done to relieve it, to assuage it, to remove it, had to be done. It was being generated for a different place. There's some dynamic inside of a Yid that's more than giving. It's reacting to another's pain and being intolerant of it to the point that something needs to be done. When the Derech Hashem talks about how a person can become Davik to Durbanish, he discusses the Kinyan HaShleimus, that a person needs to act, needs to choose to do the Ratzon of Hashem. And in that way, he's kind of Shleimus, he becomes closer to Hashem. Says the Ramchal, there's another thing that happens at the same time. His damnus lo, he becomes similar to Durbanish. Not just that he becomes acquiring Shleimus, but he actually becomes like the Durbanish. Mahu afata. Whatever the Durbanish is, that's what you become. And the more you do the Ratzon of Hashem, the more you become that. But perhaps there's a way where it's more than just acquiring the Shleimus. It's something specific. We become like the Durbanish. And that is Rachmanus. Rachmanus is we're acting like the Durbanish. Taking us from Mitzrayim was the Rachmanus of the Durbanish. Saving us by Purim was the Rachmanus of the Durbanish. When the Gemara wants to reference that the Ribono Shel Olam is talking in the Chumash, what does the Gemara say? Omer Rachmana. Rachmana is the Ribono Shel Olam. Of all the Middos he relates to us, it's the Rachmanus where he exemplifies it and expresses it, perhaps the clearest and the most. Unfortunately, we have tremendous opportunity right now. The opportunity to be Rachmanim. All the suffering we see around us, the people who are suffering physically, people are suffering financially, people are suffering in relationships, people are suffering from being stuck inside, going out of their minds. They're suffering everywhere we look. Tremendous opportunities for us to relieve suffering. The phone call, the visit, with a nice word, even with a tefillah. But there's even more opportunity. And that opportunity lay in our own suffering, in our own pain. Because when we're in that moment of pain ourselves, when we're feeling sad, when we're feeling our own problem, there's opportunity in that moment to transform it. To instead of looking inwards, looking outwards. V'yar b'siv loisam, like a Moshe Rabbeinu, to see the pain outside of ourselves and react. And in that way we can take our pain and that opportunity to react to another's pain. Who knows what the Durbanish was waiting for to bring the Gula. Perhaps it's that pain that we're feeling, and that we can transform it with our own Rachmanus, to be like him, to give him nachas, to become like the Durbanish.